Hey, what's up, Joe? Selena 17, how you doing? Erica, what's going on?
Hey, there it is. Okay.
What's up?
Hey, how's it going? How are
Good.
you?
Good. How you
I'm
doing?
good. I'm good. I was like, am I doing this right?
I know, right?
Yeah, I got my kids hidden under here, help me how to do this. So,
Right on. Very
how's it
cool. Very
going?
cool. It's going well. How you guys doing?
Good, good. Staying safe, healthy.
Yeah. Are you still working?
Yes, yeah. Me, my
You're
husband, my son, we're all still working. So,
essential.
essential. That's right.
That's
Blessed
good.
essential.
That's good because it's like one thing that we're talking about is how blessed we are to be able to have you know, a check coming in, man, because these are some tough times for a lot of folks. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true. And I didn't really realize it. I mean, because we're still going, our bills are paid, the money's flowing, we got that stimulus check. But when you had that interview yesterday from Brazil, that really, I was like, wow, like it's not just us, it's really affecting everybody worldwide. So
for
it's
sure,
heavy, man. That's heavy.
for sure, for sure. And it's affect like it's a trip because like I've been to Cuba like countless times since 1997. And you go into a store in Cuba and they're like, no, we don't have that, or we don't have that, or we don't have that. Or you go into a grocery store or a restaurant and it's just like, well, tell me what you do have. And then like with this, it's like the whole toilet paper thing and the paper products. And it's like, yeah, just the ability to walk into like a Lowe's, or anywhere and just have the ability to buy whatever you want, not necessarily even what you need is, I mean, that's our reality. That's not the reality of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So we're blessed for
we
sure.
are very, very,
For sure.
absolutely.
For sure. Well, I want to get right into it. First of all, I want to say thank you for doing this. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
Yeah, starting this out, eventually I'm going to parlay this into a podcast, but these are just trial runs. And so I wanted to get the female perspective in low riding, but I want it to be very clear and understood that I'm no way expecting you to speak on behalf of all women, right? This is just, this is a conversation amongst friends,
Absolutely. Okay,
but
yeah.
I definitely want the female perspective, and not a female perspective from the perspective of a model. Nothing against the models, but
Yep, I'm
I
with you.
mean, you're a real, true down low rider, and so I wanted to just talk to you about that, and so let's just roll and see where this goes. I'm excited.
Me too. I am. And thank you for everybody tuning in, all my loved ones. Everybody who's always supported me in this low riding game. I mean, my dad, my mom, my stepdad, all my sisters, my loved ones, my Untouchables family. Love you guys. So thank you, everybody tuning in.
For sure, for sure. And I mean, and just so we're clear, I mean, this just happens to be the first woman guest. I plan on having many more, and so we're just breaking the ice. This thing is all new, and I'm glad that you're doing it, and I appreciate you taking the time away from the family to do it. So appreciate it. So tell me, so tell me, you live in Stockton, California?
Yes. Yep.
But where are you from originally? You're getting all
So
kinds of love. I'm just seeing like this hearts, 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 hearts,
thank
hearts,
you.
hearts, hearts.
Love you guys.
Let's go.
So originally I'm from San Jose, born in San Jose, raised there. Back and forth. We first moved to Stockton with my family, my parents, and it was during that economy, rough times in the Bay Area. They moved to Stockton due to financial reasons and work and whatnot. So moved over here when I was about 14, actually. Had no friends, all I had was my sisters, no friends, and it was tough. But we would go back and forth. Like 1 year we were here, went back to San Jose, then Stockton. So eventually I eventually made friends. Um, but it's like I have love from both areas, but Stockton is home now. And I love San Jose. I love visiting. I love everything about San Jose. anybody from San Jose never leaves your heart. It doesn't. So Stockton, though, it's home, though. You know, there's a lot of good people here. A lot of people embraced us. But yeah, so we're here now, and I love it.
Right on. And so how long, so you've been in Stockton since when? What year did you move out there?
So it was about, I want to say 96.
96.
96. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was kind of like before things got like super crazy, like that mass kind of exodus out of the Bay Area. You guys were a little bit in front of that.
Exactly. So when my parents told me we were moving to Stockton, I was like, what the hell is that? Like, are there cows there? Is there pigs? Like,
yes,
I knew nothing of Stockton. I really didn't. It was just Bay Area. It was city life, fast life, you know? So, yeah. I mean, when I first came here, Stockton was still upcoming, you know, the waterfront, the stores that they were still building. So it's kind of cool that we came when we did, because I do feel a part of it, because I watched it grow, the city grow.
Yeah, right on. So growing up, being born and raised in San Jose, then, you know, walk us back through, like, what is your earliest memory of lowriding?
And, you know, I was just talking to my sister about this earlier. Memory, it's always been there. I don't have like, oh my God, like I started when I was 14. It wasn't like that. I feel like, honestly, I'm like a third generation lowrider. My dad, I got it from my father. You know, he was lowriding. It always starts somewhere, you know, but as far as where I started, it's just always been there, you know, especially coming from San Jose, King and Story. You know, my grandma's house is right around the corner. It's just always been there.
So if you're self-described right now as like third generation lowrider, so do you have, and you said it started with your father, what about his parents? Was it his father then that was?
No, I wouldn't say necessarily my grandparents, but just as far as generation wise, you know. I mean, I'm an 80s baby, so, you know, I feel like I'm that last generation who got to experience real cruising and low riding and being, you know, Chicanos wearing, you know, the Pendletons and Dickies, like all the time, every day, not just for a car show. That was the lifestyle. That's how we wore to school. You know, I feel like we were the last of that breed.
Yeah. And so how much did your father's influence come to, I mean, how much of that did you inherit? In other words, like, did he take you cruising? Did he teach you how to wrench on the car? You know, I mean, like.
So it goes back to my earliest memory is I was probably, I don't know, maybe like 9 or 10 years old. And my dad was crazy. He was a crazy guy. Like, I love him. Hi, Dad. I know you're watching. Love you.
Hi.
But he was old school, man. Cholo, you know what I mean? Like, he always had to have beat in his car. Didn't matter. That was the first thing. Rims and beat. That's what you got to do. So I remember being a kid, and I mean, little, and I don't know what time it is. Maybe it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and my dad's barely taking us home. And I'm sleeping, and my head's resting against the car, and it's my head is bouncing because my dad's got the bass just going, and you know, we're there. But that was just what it was. It was bass, you know, rims. I mean, I remember watching my dad wash his car all the time in the driveway. And he only had us girls. There was 5 of us girls. So he showed us as much as he could. And I'll never forget, is his thing was, and maybe this is why I am how I am, is never depend on no man. You know, if you could do it, you do it yourself. I mean, I'm blessed to have a wonderful husband that I have now who supports me, but I've just always been firm. I mean, my husband's got my back. He's always just never questioned me. You know, he supports me to the fullest. He's my number one. But as far as, you know, my dad is just with the music, with the low riding, you know, but as far as cruising, I got to give a shout out to my Thea Bryn. She's the one who took us on the boulevard. She's the one who took me, my sister, and my little cousins, you know. We would go cruising. We got to experience the Santa Clara, you know, King and Story. I mean, to where it was bumper to bumper. I mean, it was great. People were walking. I'll never forget that. And I'll always remember those days. It was great.
So is your Thea?
Thea. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is she still alive? Is she
Oh
still?
yeah, she's here. Hi there, Bryn. I know she's on here.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to let you go because I gotta get the DI in here to talk the OG stuff then. No, that's cool. So would you say that she was your first female lowrider role model then?
You know what? I'd have to say yes. Yes, absolutely. You know, even though I mean she didn't necessarily have a lowrider because you know back then, early 90s, it didn't matter. Everybody cruised, you know.
Right.
Everybody was on the boulevard. But she took us there, you know,
Yeah.
and it was that's just what it was.
Yeah. It's cool. I mean, you know, I grew up in Modesto and, you know, so we had McHenry Boulevard and that was before they did I mean, we had graffiti night, but Friday and Saturday nights, everybody cruised. I mean, those were, I'm going to date myself now. Those back in the days where, you know, gas was $1 a gallon and, you know, and that's just what you did in a small town. You just cruised. And
Yeah.
it was like that. It was everybody cruising because that's all we had to do. What's up, Danny? Danny.
I love you.
Yeah, so you know, and those were the days. I mean, you know, my brother had a '64 Impala, and he would take me to. I would sit on his cassette box. But then if it happened to be with my sister watching me, you know, or my cousin, then we went in whatever, and it was a Nissan or a Volkswagen or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And so now, you know, it's cool that you know we have these organized cruises. But people that don't know those old days take for granted that this is a cruise where,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you know, we went through the ebbs and flows of not being able to, and then, you know, now we're back. So,
I gotta say though, I gotta say, moving to Stockton, I never got to experience Charterway. I mean, not like how I heard it was like, you know, Santa Clara, like bumper to bumper. I've never got to experience it like that, you know, with the theaters here that they used to have it back in the day. I really wish I did. But those who are here now, we definitely make the best of it. We ride together. I mean, we're together. The clubs are always speaking to one another. We have a good time, so it's nice.
Right on. So let's fast forward to you getting a car. Is the Money your first lowrider? Did you have one before that?
It's my first and only. I wanted that car since I was probably like 12 years old. And the only reason my dad had a 76 Caprice glass house. Okay.
Nice.
And I wanted the same car like him, but different, you know? So when I seen the 76 Monte Carlo, I was like, oh, it's the same year. Like, heck yeah, that's it. Like, we're going to be connected. And, you know, and the Monte, just the body lines, you know, and not a lot of people had Monte Carlos, you know, back then. It was everybody wanted Impalas, you know, which I love Impalas, don't get me wrong, but I just wanted something like my dad's car, like a big body, you know? Yeah. So, honestly, I got that car. It wasn't until, I separated from my ex, you know, and I wanted to do something for me, for myself. I wanted to be that strong woman that my parents raised me to be, independent, you know. So the first thing I did, went and got that money. You know, my brother Kenny, who's here, he was like, hey, there's a money, it's cruising by. You know, I was like, oh my God, because he knew I wanted that. Sure enough, called him up. I mean, bought it, and the rest is history. So, and that car, it was in Stockton for a while, so it's got some history here too.
Nice. So so how long ago was it that you bought that car? What year was that?
Oh gosh, we're going back now. Maybe 12 years? About 12 years ago.
Okay. And you know, I mean, those of us who follow you on Instagram have kind of seen the
progress,
the evolution of the car.
Yeah.
And so if you could just quickly just walk us through, like, you know, what all, like a quick history of what all has been done to the car.
So the first year it sat in the driveway. I didn't do anything. It's hard, you know, at the time I mean, me and Danny were dating, but it was kind of by myself, you know. But when me and him, we really hooked up and got together, he had my back, you know. It started with the paint. Every year I try to do something. I wish I had a lot of money. I have 5 children. You know, I'm a mother of 5, so I have we have a lot of kids to support here. But it started with a paint job one year. I mean, the rims another year. Just slowly the hydraulics, you know, and then eventually I got to the pattern top, pinstriping, you know, even the chain link, my chain link wheel that I got, you know, everything gradually got, even my stereo system, I barely got stereo, you know. So it takes patience. You know, I was patient. I didn't want to rush it. There's some things I kind of did backwards, but you know, you live and you learn. It's
Right.
it's a learning process. So
Sure. And then, so there was a picture. I was trying to find it to put it in the flyer, in the flyer post. But there was one picture that I saw of you where you have the saw, and like you're sawing the package tray out of the back.
Oh yeah, that's another.
I love that picture because, you know, I mean, you know, if somebody only looked at lowered image photography and didn't know anything about you as a person, they would maybe assume that you're a model, right? As opposed to, you know, somebody who is actually, you know, doing the thing, working on the car yourself. So talk about the process of actually, you know, getting dirty with the car.
Anybody who knows me knows I'm hands-on. I'm cheap. Shit, if I could do it myself, I will do it myself. Okay, I'm frugal. But I mean, it's not just with my cars, it's my home, it's remodeling the bathrooms. You know, I just built, me and my buddy, he taught me how to build a shop. You know, I work at Lowe's, so I've always been hands-on in the construction side and whatnot. But as far as cars, I mean, if I can help, I want to help. I don't want to get in anybody's way, but if they're willing to let me get in there and learn, I'm curious too. You know, I want to see how this is done. But I was never afraid to get my hands in there, you know, but there's just some things you got to leave it to the experts. So.
Right. For sure. So what actually have you done personally? Like, what work have you done on the car yourself?
I washed it. No, it's good.
You pump your own gas too?
I mean, I can't take no credit because I have a lot of loved ones out there who've really shown me a lot of love. So I can't say that I've really personally, like, I can't say I painted the car. If anything, I've just loved it as much as I could with the support of others.
Right on.
Yeah. I mean, I've went to the store. I picked my own engine parts. You know, you tell me the sizes I need. I went. I mean, if anything, I got to pick the different grades I wanted to go. You know, okay, what level you want to do? You want to do this? You want to do that? You want to do Edelbrock? You want to get something cheap? You know. So, I mean, I've always been involved. It's not something where I'm like, okay, here's some money, just make it happen. You know. So, yeah, I gotta say, I gotta give credit to all my peoples who helped me.
Right on. Fat Boy 209 says that you fed them.
Oh, I'll make a big pot of pozole for us. We have our show here in Stockton.
Hey, there you go. And you're gonna get 70 people showing up at your house right now.
Oh wow.
Right on. So you're a member of Untouchables. Tell everybody about Untouchables. What's the history of the club? How long has the club been together? What's your role in the club? You know, what can you tell us about Untouchables Car Club?
So Untouchables established about 98, I want to say. They've been here. I mean, you know, some friends got together. Shout out to my prez also, co-founder of Miracle. They got together, you know, with Julio Mondo. They're all brothers, you know. They started a club. It was a family orientated, you know. My girl Yoli, first lady, she was very much involved with, you know, getting the patents or whatnot. So they're very, very family orientated. I didn't meet them right away. I met them actually. Let me take it back a little bit. My brother's probably gonna get mad at me, Kenny. But when me and Danny got married, we were very involved with Federation Car Club, and that's my brother's car club, and that goes back too. And I mean, all their cars were in our wedding. You know, they were really cool guys. And I thought maybe I can join them, you know. And here it comes, guys. But no girls were allowed. It was a rule. There was no women, you know. And I'm like, wow. But also, and I met also from my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law. They were friends, and you know, Danny knew them already. And he would say, "Hey, Sonia, when are you gonna come with us? When are you gonna come ride with us? When are you gonna do this?" And I almost felt like I didn't want to betray my Federation friends, you know. But he was really, I mean, he was on it. He was very inviting. He was motivated, you know. And I was like, okay, let me go check it out. And Danny was friends with them, and you know, my brother and my sister-in-law were already tight with them. So eventually, you know, now we're just a big family. The rest is history. Just I prospected, open arms. Everybody's been very loving, very helping. So the rest is history.
How
But
long
I joined in about, I've been in Untouchables probably about 7 years now, I want to say, including my prospecting year.
Okay, so I was just going to ask you, how long did you have to prospect? And so you had to prospect for 1 year?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, prospecting is important. I mean, it's not just for the club, it's for the prospect as well. Like, do they really want to be in this club? Do they want to, you know, they get to see what we're about, not just us, but our families, our extended family, how we do things, you know? So, yeah, prospecting is up to a year. So
one thing that impresses me about Untouchables is that, I mean, clearly, I mean, you guys have a very strong showing at the Stockton show. I mean, obviously, I mean, it's home base, you know, but what's so impressive other than the cars, I mean, the cars are merely extensions of us and who we are as people. But, you know, like when you and Danny brought me up and were introducing me to everybody, you can feel that sense of family, but it's also a welcoming vibe. It's not like standoffish, like a you can't sit with us vibe.
yeah,
You know, on the contrary, it's really everybody was super cool, but you could sense that family unity because you guys are putting out that vibe. And that's what really struck me about your club. It was really, really beautiful to see, apart from the lineup of cars.
yeah.
You know,
And I love it. I mean, we're growing. We're a growing club. I mean, it's so almost to the point I'm like, oh shit, you're prospecting? Like, you know, so it's a good thing. I love just how we're expanding. I mean, we're in Stockton. We have our East Bay chapter. So we're going strong, definitely.
how many members are in the Stockton chapter?
Oh my gosh, I lost count. Sorry guys, I lost count. So there's quite a bit of us though. 20, I mean, I'm not going to guess, but there's quite a bit.
A lot.
Sorry, board members. Fat boy, write it in there, please. How many members we got? 20 plus?
Hella members.
Hella.
Right on. So, that's dope, man. That's good stuff. So, you know, you just went down to Moneyfest, yeah?
Dude, yes, I did. It's my second time going. I mean, second year in the row. Shout out to Jesse Big Montes. I mean, he organized it, puts it together. Me and my homegirls, we went last year for the first time. I trailered my car with my Suburban, you know, borrowed the buddy's trailer, took it up there. And I got to tell you, man, we had a great time. But that grapevine, man, it's scary. Yeah, I was like, nobody talk.
Right,
you know?
Right.
But I was very proud of us. We went out there, we did our thing. Everybody out in LA, they really, really showed us love. It was amazing. It was an amazing time. It was good to be out there, meeting other, you know, money owners, and also just being able to hit that Boulevard Whittier, man. That was just like, it was huge. I mean, I haven't been in the game like forever, you know, but I feel like some people who have been in the game a long time, like, man, they need to get there because it's amazing. It's just, it really touches you, you know?
Yeah.
Especially those who are passionate about lowriding.
For sure. I mean, one of the last trips that we were down there, we went to Whittier and I mean, we just were in the daily, you know, we were just down there vacationing, but had to go just, you know, because it is such an important part of lowriding history, you know, and it would, you know, it's like somebody, you know, who's into lowriding who happens to be up here that wouldn't visit Story and King or wouldn't visit Mission. I mean, you know, it's a pilgrimage of sorts. So it's certainly important, you know, and to visualize how it was, you know, and the arch, I mean, there's just nothing like it. It's a very special.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And for you to have the opportunity to cruise.
Dude, to take my car out there and to ride and with the, you know, with the locals, and it was amazing. It's heavy, and shout out to my homegirls who always roll with me. They got my back, man. So I love you guys.
What's up, Chuka?
What's
Sin
up,
nombre,
Chuka?
sin
See you,
nombre
girl.
familia, my club sister right here. How are you? Good to see you. So let's talk a little more family values, if you don't mind. You know,
Yeah.
lowrider mama, right? So you mentioned
Yeah.
that you have 5 children,
5. Yep.
right? And so, you know, I don't. Danny's car's done now, right?
Just about. Yeah, just about done. I mean, he's actually taken it out a couple times already. So, yeah, he's just about done. Absolutely.
Cool. And so him being, sidelined with the accident, going back on the last car, and I driving
Oh, why you gotta bring that
because it's part of the history. It's part of the history.
up for?
And then him riding along, riding shotgun with you, and you guys, still being active together. So, I mean, I don't want to make assumptions, and I don't want anybody watching to assume anything. But if you could just you talked about low riding in terms of being passed down from your father and your tia, right? But what about you and Danny passing low riding on to your children? Because I see you cruising with your kids and whatnot. But talk about what that's like on a weekend, on a show weekend. I know your kids are active in cheerleading and sports and stuff.
Yep.
So how do you balance out the car stuff with the sports and the cheerleading and all of it?
It's yeah, we're definitely involved in football and cheerleading, but you just have to take the time for the kids. They grow up so fast, especially my oldest ones. They're grown up. But my little one, it's like I don't want to miss anything. Low riding is going to be there. I feel it's not going to go anywhere. My club members are very understanding, and they got kids in softball, football as well. So that's what I love about our club is we're very, very orientated. Just got to make a call, let somebody know, hey, my kid's got a game. But as far as balancing it, I got to make time to get in, cruising, we got mandatory shows that we do. So I try to make obligation, of course, to attend those events. But my kids, I feel like they've always been a part of this as well. It's just something, like I said, I had the car 12 years ago, so they've just always known low riding as well.
Right on. So how many, like you just said that you have mandatory events, mandatory shows. So how many mandatory shows a year do you guys have?
Well, this year's kind of, it's
This year's
everything
weird,
is just,
but
yeah, it's just
in
weird.
a normal year.
But we have, I mean, anywhere from 3 to 6 events mandatory, just depending on the calendar. So we try to attend, I would say at least 5 events, 4 to 5 events, definitely. So we're really trying to hopefully King of the Streets is still on, because we definitely look forward to going to that. Yeah.
For sure.
And of course our Stockton show, I mean, it's home. So we definitely attend that. We try to do the Merced show as well. But yeah, it just depends on the calendar, on what's going on.
And then you guys have your dinner dance, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
So tell us about that, because that's a big event. I haven't had the honor to attend as of yet, but it's.
So we usually do a barbecue, but the dinner and dance we've done on our 15 and 20-year anniversary. So we usually host a barbecue, and we get a lot of support, and we have a very, very good time. It seems like the day just goes by like that. I mean, but we have a lot of support. We have a good time.
Right on. Do you guys roll with one club or a couple of clubs that almost, you guys do a lot of stuff together? Or is it, I mean, without getting into club politics, but just, they're always, it's just because it always happens to work out that way, or what have you?
I would say, yeah, we try to cruise together. We try to ride together, support local events here. I mean, we just did a cruise yesterday for a birthday party for, one of the kids in Lodi. We all got together. We cruised. We did the birthday. Everybody's doing the birthday parades now. So we did that. We cruised by the Lodi Memorial Hospital. Even went by the police department just to show support. Like, hey, you guys are supporting us. We're going to support you right back. So it was nice. It was nice. I think everybody enjoyed. It was good to see the nurses come out, doctors, whoever could at least, just waving, even the paramedics. It was a good time. But I would say yes. Local clubs, we definitely get together. Especially, I know we have our Sonics here in Stockton. We
Right.
host this. We don't host it. Impalas does, but it's everybody is there. I mean, we have a good time at Sonics.
Nice, nice. I know they do one in Modesto too.
I got to make my way out there. That's Fridays. Fridays as well, right?
I
want
think
to
so.
say,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Palomino would know, but yeah, I think it is on Fridays.
Shout out to Jose and Palomino.
It's just hard from over here down that way on a Friday, unless you leave at 10 in the morning.
Yeah,
it'll take you 3 hours.
And plus, I mean, people work still, and you got to come home, you got to shower, you want to get your ride ready. If you have kids like me, you got to get the kids ready. It's just so it can end up being, it's kind of hard, but we make it happen.
For sure. All right. Well, all right. So now we're at the half-hour mark. So
okay.
Now that we're nice and warmed up, let's get into some
Wait, let me take another shot. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Somebody
it's just water.
It's water. Somebody asked what's in the cup. I didn't know if they were talking about your cup or my cup. This is drinking tea. So, all right. So, as a woman in lowriding, as a female lowrider, okay. You had just mentioned that when you tried to join, you wanted to join Federation, you had your eye on it. They had a rule, no girls allowed.
Yeah.
In what other ways have you experienced that no girls allowed, or this is a guy's game?
Well, I never took it personal. I didn't like, I'm not talking to you guys anymore. I didn't do that. We're still buddies. Like if I see him, I still say hi. Of course, my brother Kenny, I mean, he's my brother, but as far as being a woman here, it's just, I never let anything bother me. I mean, I drive, I do my thing. I think I never really felt like I had to prove myself. I did it for me, if that makes sense. Yeah. I didn't paint the car because I wanted to be the baddest paint job, the hydraulics. I don't have the best setup, but I did it for me. I did what I could, and I'm sure you've seen, there's pictures of me that are, chipping away, but it was supposed to just be lay and play. But once I got that flick of the switch, man, I was like, why did I get more batteries, but it's a heavy car. But as far as being a woman in lowriding, I feel blessed. I really feel blessed. I've always had support. Nobody's ever put me down, So, but I think the key is knowing you're doing it for yourself because it's what you love. And maybe it's not just for being a woman. It could be anybody. Yeah. But sure. Yeah, I feel very blessed where I'm at. I don't do it for nobody else. I don't do it for the gram or anything like that. People who know me know I love this. I love my family. I love what I do. I love my friends. I love my club, and it's an expensive hobby. That's for sure.
Well, I think that you're making a couple of important points because like you're saying, you, as long as you're doing it for yourself, I mean, that doesn't matter, that has nothing to do with gender, right? That's just being real. Number one.
It's just having the passion,
For sure. And then the second thing I think is saying like, the people that know you. And I think that, for people who don't know you, who might have a perception of who you are or what you're about or not, just a misperception, do people has anybody ever asked you if the car's Danny's?
Oh yeah, that's
right.
That's her man's car.
Like that.
That's why my name's on the driver door.
Right.
I joke around. I told Dan, I'm gonna put yours on the other side. No, I'm just kidding.
That's funny. That's funny. So what would your advice be to young girls or young women who want to get in the game?
So, I mean, just to my current and future ladies of lowriding, I mean, don't let nobody stop you. If this is what you want to do, do it. you got to start somewhere. It's not good. And have patience. It's definitely not something that's done overnight. I mean, unless you got a lot of money, you could buy, a car just like that. But it's having the passion and having, being a people person, being able to go to shows and talk to people and other clubs. And me, sometimes I call myself a social butterfly, because I'm not afraid to go up and talk to people and whatnot. But as far as advice and what I can tell them is just love the game, love what we do, love the culture of it, and just do what you want to do.
I'm reading all of that. You're getting a lot of love here.
Oh, hi. Thank you.
Getting a lot of love from a lot of folks. And it's funny because we were going at a pretty good clip. We still have a lot of people watching, but when I started going into that thread of question, people started to fall out. People thought, nah, I don't want to hear that. But I think it's important. I think it's important, to ask, and I think it's important for people to hear, because that way it's out there, and there's no card left unturned. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
I think what's being appreciated here is the authenticity with which you're talking about this stuff, about something that you're passionate about and what you love. So on that note, like what has lowriding done for you as a human being, independent of gender? Like what has lowriding given you as a person?
It gives me a peace. Honestly, it gives me peace. I'm sure a lot of people can touch bases on this. Is when you're cruising, when you're riding, and you got that music going, and you got all your brothers, your sisters, and you're just, it's a Sunday night. I mean, the sun's going down. It's I don't know if anybody can feel what I'm saying right now. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it, But it's just it's peace. It's peace, and I love it.
Cruising, hitting the switches, wiping the car down, showing the car love.
That's the best.
All of the above, or
all of the above. I mean, I consider myself a street rider. I really do. I'm not. I mean, I love watching the cars on the turntable. Don't get me wrong. I love the passion that they have, but it's just like, I love driving. I love cruising. I love wherever I can go. I mean, sometimes I'll just take my car to work just to drive it, just to enjoy that cruise, and I love also is the kids, because, me and kids, I don't know if you've seen, but I feel like when I see a little girl and she's looking at the car, I'll be like, I'll ask her parents first, of course. Come on, babe, you want to sit inside of it? I'll let them sit inside. I'm not afraid to let anybody sit inside. And then I'll hit a switch really quick, nothing major, and they get a kick out of it, and I want to be able to instill that passion into the next generation. Even little girls, I'll give them my chola bands. I'll take them right off my hand. Like, here, baby, this is us. This is what we represent. I just want to be able to plant a seed, if I can, into the next generation.
I think that's super important. I'm the same way when I see kids. I always have a soft spot in my heart for kids on any given day. But when we're out with the car, we're out on a cruise, and there are kids involved, because we'll go to the wharf, we'll go to Fisherman's Wharf, and we'll post up. And there are, a lot of families around and whatnot. And when I see kids, I'll get them and put them in the driver's seat if they want to check it out, grab the steering wheel, whatever. It's important because I hit switches for the first time when I was 5 years old. My brother's friend, these guys were like 11, 12 years older than me. He had a 73 Riviera boat tail with hydraulics, and he let me hit the switches on it. And it was like, at that moment, I was like, oh my God, And so my sons, they actually hate a little bit when I'm showing other kids love. They're like, hey, why are you doing that? I said, because, you never know, It's a lot easier to be nice to somebody rather than, or if a kid is going to touch the car, say, hold on, check it out. Let me get that for you. You know what I mean? Instead of like, don't touch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, because it's like I was talking the other day with Donnie, whether we like it or not, we are ambassadors.
Yes.
And with that comes a responsibility, especially when we're interacting with the community at large, for sure.
And I think I just try to explain to my kids, these cars are in our garage every day. These kids, they don't get to see this. So when we're cruising by and their jaws are dropping, I mean, this is probably, they don't get to see these cars every day, So I like to, I mean, we did a little event here at Stockton 209's Finest, and there was a little boy walking by. I mean, hot Cheetos, they got him all over the hand, and he's just like, and I'm still like, come on, come on. The dad was like, can he take a picture with you? And, I'm like, of course, come on, like, don't be afraid. I don't bite. So, but Mijo got in the car, and it was just his face. I mean, I love it. I love the highlight that the kids, it's just, maybe one day that kid will get a lowrider, maybe,
Right.
maybe we touched him that day, so.
Or what I say too is, whether or not the kid ends up being inspired to lowride, if nothing else, he can see that if you work hard, you can accomplish whatever you want.
Yep.
And that's dope. What kind of interior do you have in the Money? Just out of curiosity.
It's original, believe it or not. That's one thing I have not got to is my interior.
So is it vinyl?
Yes, yeah, vinyl.
Okay, so I'll send the Hot Cheeto kids to you because I've got velour interior, so Hot Cheetos don't fly in my car.
Bring them, baby, bring them.
You can have the Hot Cheeto kids.
I got the Clorox wipes, don't worry.
Hey, that's a hot commodity now. You better keep them.
That's right.
The Clorox wipes. Right on. Cool. So, what else do you want to talk about?
Oh, wow. You ran out of questions?
No, I got a million questions, but I'm going to pass the mic to you to see what you want to talk about. Is there anything that you want to say, like, coming into this? Because there are no questions prepared for these things. It's more of a conversation. But is there something that you were thinking about that you were like, yeah, I want to talk about that? Or
no, I think we touched a lot. I mean, with just being a woman in lowriding, just the late, and shout out to Duena's Car Club girls. Hey, they're holding it down. They're doing their thing in San Jose. I mean, them girls are solid. And I got to say, I'm very, very proud of them. I mean, to have an all-woman car club, that's huge. That's amazing. So when they came out, oh, I was like, dang, like that's a blessing. That's awesome. I'm proud of them.
No,
I'm trying to read with you, and it's like, I'm like,
I know, I can't keep up. It's like I'm blinded by all these colored hearts here. It's like, it's like this, like, barrage of.
But yeah, it's women in lowriding. I mean, Chuka, I can name a bunch, and I'm proud of all the ladies who are cruising, who have their rides, who, I mean, drive their own cars. So it's the women and it's the kids, for me. That's my passion.
I hear that. And at the risk of losing followers, or at the risk of, people being put off by what I'm about to say. I mean, it's my, my true and authentic feeling. So it is what it is. But you and I have talked at the shows, about, kind of how women are perceived, and, it's, I get that people want to model, and that's all well and good, and if that's your thing, that's your thing. But it's never been my thing. And I think that, it's really about people, and it's about cars, and I think that, what I appreciate about you is the fact that, you're holding it down in a very real way. And you are representing to the fullest with the dignity and the respect that women deserve, being part of a lowriding community in a larger lowrider family.
Thank you. And I feel like I said, blessed is all I can say. I mean, I do this because this is who I am. Anybody who knows me knows this is what I do. This is how I am. I've never portrayed it any other way. This is our life. This is our lifestyle. This is our culture. This is what I know.
How has lowriding changed since you remember it as a young girl, living in San Jose?
Um, it for a little while there, it got a little like it kind of died down a bit, you know. But I feel like now, of course, before all the COVID-19 and whatnot, I feel like it's coming back with the rebound, especially with the King of the Streets. When it first started, I mean, that thing just took off. You know, it brings us all together. We have a good time. We get to see loved ones from far away, you know, the cars from far away, and just I think we're having more of a lowrider community. I really wish we can have cruising not planned, you know, just hit the boulevard, just get out there, just Friday, Saturday nights, let's go ride, you know, Sunday nights, whatever it is. I wish we can see more of that coming back in each city.
So that's where it came from. That's where it was. Now we have them planned. You know, what are your predictions for the future of lowriding? How do you see the future of lowriding? Because certainly social media has changed lowriding.
I see
in a very big way.
I see. Are you there? Are you with me? Sorry, it was buffering.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay, good.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I see a lot. I see a lot more women coming out, and I think that's great. I see a lot more clubs embracing women as members. You know, not just girls who are there, our girlfriends or old ladies. You know, but actual members paying dues, having a say. You know, because sometimes it just takes us. I mean, let's face it, us women, you know, sometimes sometimes we have a stronger thought in any conversation, you know, and I think it's good that we all can come together and just put everybody's thoughts in it, not just the guys, you know. So I like to see, I think a lot more women are going to be coming out.
Right on. I hope so. You know, I mean, because, you know, like we had you know, my kids are recycling their lowrider bike parts and whatnot. And so we had an extra one that had kind of been, you know, kind of the Frankenstein model of the other two bikes. And so when my niece was here, I told my sister-in-law, I was like, we're giving this bike to Vida because, you know, if she wants it, she's welcome to it, you know. And they send us pictures of her riding that thing in Long Beach all the time. And I'm like, you know what? That's what it's about. So hopefully that will inspire her on some kind of trajectory with this, because, you know, if we don't pass it down to the kids, we're in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. They're the next generation, like they say, you know?
Yeah. So are your kids looking to get into builds and having cars and whatnot?
I think that our kids are really looking forward to, because we always joke around, okay, you're going to get this car. Because I have my dad's 76 Capri still. So it's something in a future project that I have to, it's got a background to it, but it's something that I have to rebuild, you know, but it's going to take time. But all the kids kind of have, okay, who's going to get what, you know, and I think they're looking forward to that. I not necessarily so much of a just handing it over, you know, but more importantly, it was mom's car. It was dad's car. You know, it has meaning behind it. So, yeah.
So I was going to ask you about that. If your dad still had the car, if it was sold or whatnot. I mean, my dad grew up in the 40s, right? So my dad, you know, he was born in 1933. So we'd be driving around and we'd see like an old bomb. We'd see like a 51 and he'd go, oh yeah, I had one of those. And then we'd be driving around and some sick, like, you know, early 70s Buick. Yeah, I had one of those. And I'm like, well, what happened to all these cars? And my mom said he sold them all. He'd get a car and sell it, get a car and sell it.
Yeah.
You know? So it was, you know, it was more of my older brother that got me into it and his friends. But it's interesting, just that intergenerational thing, you know, and I look forward to seeing what ends up happening with that car, you know, because that car, you know, that's the legacy of the family, you know, and
yeah.
for your kids to have the opportunity to roll it. I think your dad's saying I miss my
I see him. You know what? He wanted to get rid of it at one point. He's all, Mija, I'm just going to sell it. It's just sitting there. And I'm like, bullshit. You ain't going to sell that car. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Thea. But yeah, I'm like, that car is not going nowhere, you know?
Hold on.
Give me
Let me get him
time.
back here. Dad, how much? How much you want for it?
Hell no, I got it. Love you, Dad. But no, it's like you said, it's a legacy. You know, and for me, I don't know, I don't understand how, forgive me, people, I don't know, I don't understand how people can buy and sell, you know. But some of, maybe it's a business for some. I'm not sure, you know, but I just feel passionate when I get a car. Maybe I just get too connected, you know, I get too involved, you know. So, and I just want to bring something up as far as future generations of getting, because I know we're running out of time.
No,
Future
we're good.
generation.
We got 9 minutes.
Okay, future generations of buying cars. Damn, they're expensive. People, can you drop the price a little bit? You know, I mean, you got to have like $15,000 now to get a lowrider. You know, and it's crazy. I know, we got to go with the economy and whatnot, but man, I mean, I'm glad I got my car when I did. You know, Danny, he got the '68 Impala, and I mean, I feel like, I mean, with the prices nowadays, I feel like we burned that guy, you know? So, man, that spins my wheels sometimes.
So I got my '64 Impala in '93.
I don't know if I want to know.
I was the third owner. I was the third owner on the car. I bought that car for $2,000.
Yep.
And in 1996, I said, I
Scooter. $80,000. Sorry, I read a comment. You're crazy.
So in 1996, I sold the car to go to Cuba. I told my mom, I go, I'm going to go to Cuba. And she goes, you ain't got no job. I said, I'm going to sell my car. She was like, you're not selling your car. She tried to talk me out of it until I handed the guy the keys.
Wow.
And because my thing was like, you know what? I'll get another one. I never imagined that the car would end up being worth its weight in gold. And now, you know, you look at Cali Trader and you look at what like the junk Impalas are going for. They're going for like $6,000-7,000, just body and in bad shape, you know. And so anyway, I'm happy with the fleet line and I'm cool. But
hold on to it, man.
But I hear you, because it's like, it's just crazy how inflated everything is. And they're that much money because people will pay that much money.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to sell a couple of my kids to get another lowrider.
Or you could sell, look, I respect history and family history. So if you need a good home for the glass house, just saying.
Forget I brought it up.
I can't. It's gonna keep me up at night. I'm gonna be like laying there going, man, 76.
Hey, I'm gonna have to send you a picture of where it's at right now. So
please do. I would love to see it. But now it's like, you know, I want to interview your tia. I want to talk to your dad, because I'm sure they have really, really good stuff to say, for sure. You know, and one thing is obvious, Sonia, seriously, is like the community loves you. The community absolutely loves you, respects you, and you're getting, like, this has been by far like the most anticipated happy hour. And, you know, everybody's just like, you can see it. Everybody's blowing this feed up.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
It's really amazing to see. You know, I don't know if you're aware of the impact that you have on the community. And this is because all day my DM's been impacted with people going, is it going to be on YouTube? Is it going to be on Instagram? I send, like, Dueñas was like, I send it out to the whole club, you know. And so, you know, there's been a lot of support, you know, the homies down in LA with, you know, in Heat Wave, you know, the folks that talk very highly of you for meeting you at the Monty Fest. It's just beautiful to see, because this is what it's about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, thank you, everybody. So it just, I don't want to cut into, where's my dad at? Dad, where you at? Thea? He said, don't sell my grandkids. Did you see his comment? But yeah, Heat Wave definitely showed us love. I mean, when we were there, it was, I wasn't expecting that. We didn't know what to expect, believe it or not, because you're going into unknown territory, you know? I mean, just like anywhere you go, you just got to be aware of your surroundings and whatnot. But man, those guys, they really, really showed us love. It was cool.
Yep. Ulysses is in here right now. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping in, for sure. Yeah, and you know, and that's the thing. And I think that, you know, look, the history of the politics in our state in terms of Chicanos, and you know, I'm not going to get into all of that. It's a known fact, but my hope is that moving forward is that we can recognize that as long as we come at this with a love and a respect, you know, and that mutual love for lowriding, that will push this whole thing forward independently of where we are in the world. You know, I think that's important to keep in mind.
And I'm looking forward to maybe traveling more if I can. I mean, I feel like the training wheels need to come off, you know. I know people are like trailer queens and whatnot, you know, but I had a great time taking my mind somewhere else and cruising another boulevard. And I mean, another city. I'm looking forward to maybe even going to Arizona eventually. I really want to make my way out there.
Right on, right on. Well, we're going to wrap this up. And I just want to say this, that my follower count grew today because you were coming on. So for everybody that followed to be able to watch this, don't unfollow now. Don't unfollow now. But, you know, seriously, all jokes aside, I truly appreciate you doing this, you know, and I know that, you know, you have a family, and in these times, you know, we need to stick more together as we need to be tighter than ever, because at the end of the day, family's all we have.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I really, really appreciate you taking the hour out of the day to hang out with us for a little bit, talk some of this stuff. And hopefully we can do this again. You know, I'm trying to parlay this into a podcast eventually. So I would like to revisit this with you, and, you know, maybe we explore some things that we hadn't gotten into today or had the opportunity. So, and I
want to say thank you to you for doing what you're doing, because I mean, this is huge. Nobody, I mean, gives you enough credit for what you're doing, traveling the world. I mean, I'm enjoying these interviews. I'm enjoying everybody you're speaking. I'm not interviews, but conversations that you're having. It's man, I'm just soaking it all up, you know.
Appreciate that.
So thank you to you too. Thank you everybody who's here. I love you guys. Thanks for always having my back. And man, I'll see you on the boulevard. Don't forget. Sure. Yeah.
I just wanted everybody to know that Sonia was the first person to order official Lowride Worldwide merchandise. When I first launched my brand, and they weren't even silkscreen shirts. They were like,
I'm like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, wait, look, there you are.
Heat pressed.
Okay, here's I still got your, where are you at? Can you see it? Look, there's your sticker right there.
Oh, that's the original one too, the thick one.
So this is my,
but, Sonia was the first. Sonia was the first one to order and drop dough to support the brand. So thank you. I really appreciate it. You know, you and Danny are solid folks, and, you know, you have a beautiful family, and thank you so much. Best of luck to you guys.
Yeah.
Please stay safe, and please stay healthy, you know, and best to all of your family, all of your sisters, your parents, your tia, everybody, because, you know, we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. And, you know, your family did an amazing job raising a very wonderful person who is making a solid contribution and is an absolute role model for lowriders, regardless, male, female, transgender, whatever. You're just a solid human being, and that's what everybody appreciates and loves about you.
Thank you. So thank you. Wait. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Leo, my stepdad, all my sisters, my kids, my club, and all my homegirls who's always had my back. So I love you guys. Thank you.
Right on. Give my best to Danny, and we'll see you soon, Sonia. Thanks.
Love you, Danny. Love you. Okay, bye. Thank you, John. Right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. Thanks for tuning in. That was pretty awesome. This was the most attended happy hour this week. I've got Kenny from Carnales Car Club New Zealand on Wednesday. I've got Chuco Moreno on Friday. Photographer Amanda Lopez on Saturday. See ya.